Well, you remember this
Although that would be a great fucking if you just redid. Somebody could do that probably in our community. You know the scene in The Dark Knight when he's like, I'm just going to leave my card for when you're ready to start taking things more seriously.
Yeah.
It would be great if somebody turned that into either a Yu-Gi-Oh card or a Pokemon card and just have them
drop it down.
Magic the Gathering and then leave.
Or have Patrick Bateman's card.
And then have the dude that used to play Spawn be like, damn. He left an energy card for Pokemon.
God, he was Spawn.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I remember.
That's why he's one of those guys. No matter what he's in, I go, "Oh, Michael J. White." Every time I see him, I go, "Ah, it's Spawn."
Yeah,
that's all he is.
Don't forget, John Leguizamo was in that movie too. He was. He was
Don't
a big
worry,
clown.
I will never forget
The best part of that movie. So remember this lady?
Yeah, can I set this up?
Sure.
This was the police chief who left her gun in a bathroom.
That's correct.
She made a video apologizing. Because one thing this woman believed very strongly in was honesty,
integrity,
and transparency.
Yeah, you're right.
She got right out ahead of it as soon as it happened and came clean and said, "We are working on it." Right? She did the right thing after the fact. Right?
St. Louis Obispo police chief accused of cover-up over stolen gun. This person here.
Oh no!
And I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy we get it. I remember remember when we called her out before any of this came out. We were saying like that's bullshit. You're going after somebody in the bath. This random dude that didn't do anything. Now you're gonna go after him. She did.
But wait, no. But she said transparency. They were looking for integrity. She wanted to be honest and do the right thing here. Clearly, this is a mistake.
The search for the pistol that San Luis Obispo Police Chief Deanna Cantrell lost in the bathroom stall resulted in an apparently illegal search of a home without a warrant and the arrest of a couple on charges of child neglect for having a messy house.
Oh, shit. Wow.
And new information points to Cantrell's efforts to keep the news of her loss quiet, despite her claim that she immediately reported the stolen gun, which, by the way, she didn't. Cantrell left her pistol, a Glock, with a 21-round magazine in the bathroom of El Pollo Loco restaurant.
Can I point out, too, a 21-round magazine that it is illegal for any of you to possess?
Yes.
In a lot of, not in some states, but she was in California.
California.
You can't have that.
In the bathroom of an El Pollo Loco restaurant at noon on July 10th. A short time later, Cantrell realized she did not have her service weapon and returned to the restaurant bathroom. The pistol was not there. In contrast to Cantrell's claim that she immediately reported the gun stolen, several officers said her attempt to cover up the theft of her gun risked officer safety and led to a search of a home of a man incorrectly identified as the person suspected of taking the chief's gun.
Homie is going to get such a nice paycheck from this. He's going to get such a nice fat check from the state and the county for this.
Typically, after a loaded police firearm is stolen, a be on the lookout bolo was put on the area. Law enforcement not only helped quickly recover the stolen weapon, but also protect officers and public safety. However, for the first 2 hours, Cantrell conducted the investigation into her stolen gun without reporting it in. Cantrell checked surveillance footage at the restaurant and saw that 3 people had entered the restroom. After her, 2 of whom were still in the restaurant and did not have her gun, Cantrell said.
Remember she covered that in the video. Yeah, that was her side of it.
Yeah. 2 hours after Cantrell discovered her gun was missing, she called police dispatch and asked police department employee Christian Steeb to call her back. Cell phone to cell phone in an apparent attempt to keep the call from being recorded. That's right, because if you call it into the station, all the calls are recorded.
So basically, the man that this woman was talking about in the video, there was a guy that we did see, they proceeded to harass this man.
Oh, I'll show you.
Break into his home, get his kids in trouble, almost taken from him.
No.
All over fucking...
Steve said the chief provided information about the lost gun and on record, blah, 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 blah. The call fell off, so I called her back on my cell phone. Call of lost property. The last person who was the first to enter the restroom after Cantrell left, was not in the restaurant when the chief returned to look for the firearm. The man, later identified as a 30-year-old Skeeter Carlos Magan of Los Osos, was shown in the video, clean-shaven, balding, and wearing black jacket and shorts. Shortly before 7 p.m., a group of 5 detectives were dispatched to the home on O'Connor Way after the officer said the man who lived in the home resembled the man in the video. However, the dispatch log shows the officers were sent to El Pollo Loco on Los Osos Road for a lost property report. The group of the police drew the attention of a man living in the house with his wife and 2 children. The man, who is not being identified by Cal Coast News, came out to ask the officers what was going on. The man had a full beard and mustache. So
I'm sorry, but
this is the guy they're looking for. And the other guy had a full beard and mustache. So this is not obviously the guy. It continues. The man who has been okay. Even so, Detective Jason Dickel and Susie Walsh told the man that they knew he had stolen the chief's pistol and ordered him to tell them where it was. The man said he told the officers he had been in Atascario with his wife and 2 children at a medical appointment, which, by the way, that's easily verifiable. And
that's a really hard alibi to lie about. Because
Yeah.
you're like, no, I was at a doctor's office. I had to sign in on 3 iPads. I'm on camera, and I was in there for a half hour.
And that he had not been to El Pollo Loco and SLO. The man's wife and the couple's 2 daughters also came out of the house and spoke with officers. The wife said she offered to call the doctor so they could confirm that they were there at the time the gun was stolen. But the detective said no. The wife said that she heard several officers noting her husband clearly was not clean-shaven, not the clean-shaven man seen in the video. Walsh then asked the man if she could search his home. He asked if she had a warrant. Jason Dickel said I was on probation and didn't need a warrant. Here's the problem: nobody in that house was on probation. The man said, and she says, I told him I had court documents showing it was another family member who was on probation, not them, you know. But he did not want to see the documents. He said, you have the gun, and we're going in to get it. So they went in without a warrant on false premises. So far, we're doing good, right? After the officers entered the house and kicked down the parents' bedroom door, they arrested the man and his wife on charges of child neglect. The house was unclean, officers said, and took the children into custody.
This is like next level police state shit.
First off, the police wouldn't make that. The police wouldn't make that determination. That would be social. Police would then call. I don't know how it is over there, but I'll tell you, Florida. The police would call social services. Social services would come out. They have people that come out right away and go, "Okay, no, you're right. This house is unclean. We're going to take it." That's not something a cop could just make a decision on.
This is unbelievable.
At least in Florida. I don't know how it is in California.
This is like straight police state shit.
The girls, 7 and 9, remain in the police station until after 2 p.m. the next day, the man's wife said. In support of removing the children from the parents' custody, Carrie Bailey, a county social worker, claimed a photograph taken in the parents' bedroom of paraphernalia was taken into the children's bedroom. So this is what this woman's saying happened. They kicked down the door, right, to her bedroom. It probably was a bong, is what I'm assuming, or a pipe or something.
Like that, yes.
Whatever, right? Like in their room. It wasn't in the kids' room, in their room. And then they moved it
to the
kids' room to take the picture. Yeah.
This is going to be... It's going to be bad for the state, man.
A county social worker claimed the photograph in the parents' bedroom of paraphernalia was taken in the children's bedroom. When asked about the misstatement, Deborah Berger, the deputy county counsel, said the county is not permitted to disclose information about child custody issues. Cantrell claimed in a press release that at approximately 7 p.m., 15 minutes after officers arrived at the couple's home, Manga's brother-in-law contacted law enforcement to report Manga had the chief's gun. That's a lie, obviously. Cantrell said that she then sent officers to retrieve the firearm from the home. At 7:30, more than 7 hours after the chief's gun was stolen, SAO police patrol officers were notified for the first time that the chief had lost her gun, the patrol officer said. So somebody called at 7 p.m. and said this guy has your gun, but she didn't report the gun stolen until 30 minutes after that.
Because they tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In contrast to Cantrell's timeline, Essex County Sheriff's Chief Deputy Aaron Nix said that between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on July 10th, the police department employees requested the Sheriff's Department assist them finding the gun. A Sheriff Watch commander then asked why they had not informed the area law enforcement through a bolo and gave SAO Police Dispatch a 30-minute window. We inquired as to whether they intended to put out an officer safety bolo, Nick said, but the dispatch advised they didn't intend to send out a bolo, and we offered to assist them in that regard. We told them we would recontact them if in about half an hour to check on the progress. Blah. Following the 2-day investigation, SLO City Manager Derek Johnson fined Cantrell $1,600. That's it. This is how much she was fined for violating city policy regarding keeping weapons concealed at the time. Johnson praised Cantrell for her integrity throughout the incident. So, lost the gun, which we were already making fun of her for that before. They still haven't found the gun. So the gun's still out there. They broke into.
Oh, wow. I thought at some point the gun would get recovered.
No.
They still haven't even found the gun.
They've broken into the wrong guy's house.
This is so much fun.
They broke into the wrong guy's house. They got their children taken away from them for a messy house, which, of course, it's messy if you just kick the door in and started flipping. That's the other thing, too. They kick the door and they flip stuff over looking for the gun, and then they take a picture and go, what a pigsty, you know?
It's the whole thing.
This is fucking
insidious.
Shady, man. This is wrong.
And it just goes to show you, like, anybody that thinks you have rights, they'll do what the fuck they want if they want to.
Especially if it saves them from looking bad.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it saves them from looking
Well, Royce,
bad.
I've got some bad news. As far as, them saving themselves from looking bad. They look really bad right now.
There's only Cal Coast News is the only person covering this. By the way, they seem to just be keeping it disciplined. She was disciplined apparently. $1,600 fine, but they went into somebody's home. And you're right. You see it all the time. We say it here in Florida. It happens. There was a cop that was hiding meth in people's shit
Here in Florida, Jackson County.
Yeah, having their kids taken away from them. And again. Look, we're not anti-cop. You fucking all of them are pieces of shit. But when ones are pieces of shit, they should be called out, right?
Yeah, like I like cops. I really do. I have cops in my family. I have racist cops in my family. I still love them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even the cops in my family that are a little edgier, they did a good job with what they had. They're mostly blue collar people trying to do the best they can with what they got, but anybody who says all cops are rotten is full of shit.
Right.
But all these thin blue line people that go, it's 99.8% of cops are fucking
That's
heroes.
also
You're
a
like,
lie.
Stop. You were not born swaddled in the American flag. You
Oh.
know what I mean? You're not a warrior of God. You're a foot soldier for the police state. You relax.
And I will say this: I hate the fact that we're supposed, and I've always said this. I hate the fact that we're supposed to treat cops that are on the south side of Chicago with the same respect as cops who work Sunny Isles. You know what I mean?
That's always hilarious. When you work at Bal Harbor Police Department, and it's like, all right, but what are you really doing, huh?
Yeah.
You just herding Hasidims on Saturday because they can't drive? That's literally what cops do in Bal Harbor because there's so many Hasidic Jews and they don't drive. The cops are just down on Saturday and Sunday going, wait. Okay, you can go.
Yeah.
Lot of foot traffic today. It's the nicest gig in the world. There's no crime.
No, they haven't. By the way, no, they haven't found the gun.
That's
if someone asked again. They haven't found it.
Amazing.
So you're right because there's a town right before Sunny Isles in South Florida called Golden Beach, right?
Okay.
It's the little town in between Dade County and Broward County. It's this little, and when I say the exact size of the town is like 2 miles by 2 miles.
It's very tiny.
It's really tiny and it's by the water. Everybody knows if you live in South Florida, you don't go over 30 at Golden Beach because they have their own police force because it's a high-end upper crusty. Nothing happens there. I mean, it's 2 mile by 2 mile city that has its own police
And
force.
they make all their money
They
by
make
going,
all
you,
their
hey,
illegal U-turn,
42 miles an hour, buddy.
and
Whoa.
they give tickets.
What are you, fucking Lightning McQueen over here? You're under arrest.
I'm supposed to respect them as much as I respect, like I said, a cop on the south side of Chicago that's getting shot at. Or you saw what's happening in New York and De Blasio? They're just hitting cops with water guns.
Yeah.
Did you see that? They're just hitting cops with water guns and shit like that.
They don't give a fuck.
And they
did
can't do anything.
There's a video in Atlanta, too, that they did that
With
to
the
some
super
cop.
soakers?
Yeah, they don't give
Yeah.
a fuck, dude. They have no respect.
And yeah, because they know they can't do anything because then the cops will be called racist.
You know how you get to fucking, you know how you get the cops to be respected again? Light fascism. A
And
little bit of that Rudy Giuliani, William Bratton. A lot of that dynamic going on.
No, but
That's how you do it.
You know, the thing is that I do think there's a lot of cops with really difficult jobs that suck. I have cops in my family as well. But I also think that if you want the other side, if you want the people that go, no, you're not, you fucking with me, look, you did this shit to me, you broke in my door, whatever, then you shouldn't be covering for, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a big thing. The one thing that I will say, one of the biggest detriments is the way cops take care of each other. And you know it. If you have a friend who's a cop and you get a ticket and you call your friend, they'll call the other cop, hey man, can you give a professional courtesy? Can you lose the ticket? And they'll lose the ticket and you'll be fine and that's no problem. And they hand out those PBA cards, you know, that you could give them.
They don't really work like they used to, but they'll still help you out.
Right. Or they put the little thing. So you guys cover for each other, and then when you get caught, then it's not one stupid cop who lost her gun. It's one stupid cop and 5 others who kicked in somebody's door. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You know, I really do think that's the problem because it is really like you want to talk about hated, and this is real. This isn't just in movies. Internal affairs officers are despised. By regular cops because they go, we coming after us. We have a tough job.
Like rat squad.
The rats, exactly. So it's, I don't know, man. I mean, if you guys don't want everybody to go, you know, what pieces of shit you are, don't cover.
I don't even have a problem with professional courtesy and with a little bit of everybody gets an employee discount, whatever job they're at. That's just life. That's life. It doesn't matter. If you work at Baskin Robbins, you're not a hustler free ice cream cone. That's just life. But the level they take it to, like with this, where you're kicking in doors to try to find a gun and you're just victimizing an entire household, like to me, if I'm a cop, I would have been at least mildly dirty as a cop. If my chief of police lost their gun, would I keep my mouth shut for an hour? Well, you know, while we tried to all right, we don't have to report it yet. Let's try to find it first, you know? And I would be okay with bending some rules. As soon as we were approaching a house and the guy didn't even look like the guy and they have kids in the house and they're like, get in there, I'd be like, okay, look, man.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'll help. Look, I get it. Sometimes you got to lose paperwork for a day because maybe the gun will turn up and maybe we don't have to get suspended. I get that. But once they go, send them in, guys, start kicking in doors and putting bongs in kids' rooms, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck are we doing?
I just only a minute 35.
I would have totally, by the way, I would have totally stolen from dope dealers and shit if I was a cop. I would have been dirty. But again, there's a level of dirty that's acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, even people in the dope game understand sometimes they're just going to fish through your pockets and leave you alone. And you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to jail tonight, but he just took like $1,800 from me, but I'm not going to jail. You know, but then there's, hey, let's go kick and pose a bong next to this kid's nightlight. And you're like, okay, this is creepy now.
So I want to play this one more time just because in contrast to what actually happened.
Police chief in San Luis Obispo. I talk about transparency and having a relationship that's built on trust with our community, so I also want to make sure I practice what I believe. Therefore, I think you should hear this from me. I was eating lunch today at a local restaurant in San Luis Obispo, and I went into the restroom. Even though my gun was in a holster, it didn't stay clipped to my pants, so I removed it, and I placed it next to me. I left my firearm in the restroom. Within minutes, I realized it, but when I went back, it was gone. Someone had stolen it. I immediately checked video footage, and I saw that 3 people had entered the restroom after me.
But I only called on a cell phone because I didn't want it to get on the record. And shortly after that, we had 2 children removed from their parents. So that's the same as a gun. think problem solved.
Kicked in a couple doors.
Yeah, bing, bam,
Sometimes, look,
boom.
you're not gonna make. I needed to make. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
You're
And
right.
in this case, I needed to make a get my gun back omelet. So I needed to remove children from their parental homes. Eggs.
Way the world goes. It wasn't stolen. It was given away. That's a good point.
true. It wasn't
Like no one ran.
stolen.
No one broke into her car and took it.
Finders keepers, officer, fucking rug muncher.
I don't.
The
know.
first man, whose photo was released on Facebook, went into the restroom after me.
I
and
really
then
want to
immedi-
be a dude. It's like she's like the. You know what I love about lesbians to try to act like dudes.
Yeah.
And then gay guys that try to act like women, and neither one of them can do it.
And they don't like each other either,
I'd like some transparency, please.
bro.
So earlier today, I was at a local Wendy's.
Dude, stop.
immediately left the restaurant without ordering any food. The next two people that entered the restroom
Why does this lesbian sound like? She sounds like a teenager trying to buy alcohol with a fake ID.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my real ID. Married with 4 kids.
Like, stop.
were still in the restaurant and said that the firearm was not in the restroom when they went in. My actions were irresponsible and dangerous, and I'm so grateful that after our preliminary investigation, a child didn't find it.
But if you cared about children, you wouldn't be taking them away from their parents on faulty premises, right?
I was complacent, and that's something you can never be with a firearm. I expect more from myself as a person, and especially as a police officer that has carried a firearm for 25 years. This was reported to
But did you find? But you still. But see, here's the thing: you still haven't found the gun. It's out there. And even if that guy, even if that dude, which we don't even know if he did, but even if that dude did steal the gun, it's gone. Like even if you find him, he'd be like, "Oh, I never got a gun. What are you talking? It's that gun is sold. The serial number's been filed off. It's somebody else has it. I don't think that guy kept the gun. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
My-
no, of course not.
That's
goes-
in the ether now. That gun is gone.
That gun is going to be used to kill a child with a stray bullet in
Yep.
fucking South Central in a year.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen.
supervisor and law enforcement immediately, and the firearm was entered into a national database. I expect
Oh, you're right. Remember what was the Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg movie where they were cops? And they had to give Will Ferrell a wooden gun because he kept just shooting it off too much. He needs a wooden gun.
Gave him a
Remember they gave him a wooden gun?
Would even give him anything, man.
This is a wooden gun. Just a wooden gun.
to be held accountable, and I want to publicly apologize for my carelessness, and I hope that in some way this serves as a lesson for others.
So was this video after they kicked in the door and did all this shit?
Well, yeah, apparently they kicked the door in the same day. Like it was
this was also the same day. 'Cause she said
correct. Well,
earlier
this
today.
video, this video might, yeah, exactly. So I think this all happened at around the same time. Yeah, only one person, right? A desk pop. Yeah, that's what they called it in the movie. That Mark Wahlberg's convinced them that you do a desk pop where you just shoot, and he just shot it straight in the police station. That was a great movie. So I guess we'll see. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think that fine or whatever, dude. They lost a fucking gun. Like you something you point out, a gun that's probably illegal to own in the state they live in.
This is unbelievable. By the way.